The game has started. We're going to be following Koska out here, see what he can get done. Looking like he wants to be getting aggressive. He's going to be getting in there. They're going to start off on him right away, but he's going to be on a Varium, and a Varium is going to be taking quite a bit of damage. There's a charge over onto the Paladin. He's going to get Conklode, intercept back onto a Varium, who's going to have to both Icebound Fortitude and pop his AMS, so already taking an absolute ton of damage. He's still very low. He actually just LOS that heal. He will be able to get top back off, but still has to be careful here because the cooldowns are gone, and there's a full fear onto MDMX, and now they're going to be going over onto Zanku with that disarm, so he couldn't pop his endurance.
Unfortunately, MD does still have his trinket available if he gets put in something. Mystic XX is going to pop Bloodlust. He was taking a little bit of damage. They're going offensive here onto the Gargoyle. The Gargoyle looks like it will die. Yes, it does. So now they can hit whatever they want. They don't have to worry about too much pressure coming out onto them. Zanker taking a lot, man. He gets put into that concussion blow. He's going to come out at 30%. Wow, he dipped really low. Uses his Feign Death at 40% health. Does still have his Deterrences. They're going to swap over onto a Varium at 40% health. They're inside of that AMZ, but they're inside the open. Or outside in the open. That means that they can really just turn into him. Zanku got pretty low right there. Yeah, he's gonna have to get some more pressure going.
I think he's gonna die, and yeah,
the ball came out too late.
A little bit too late, and that burst is just insane, man. They have to be so careful. I mean, anytime he doesn't have a trinket, you know, one stun can just be death. So Blood Fear is really dumb. All that stuff's kind of really dumb. But anyway, it is what it is, and we are going to be starting out here. Koska, once again, going to be trying to get in there. Going to pop his Reflect immediately. Does get scattered. There's the grip in onto the Pally, so they're going to try to go on the Pally here. That's going to be their solution. We can see Mystic X already throwing out a lot of Lesser Healing Waves. 3 straight Lesser Healing Waves onto Sveka, helping him out, keeping him topped off. But Sveka did have to trinket there regardless, and Zanku's going to be hodged now. They're going to swap over onto him with that. The Lava Burst does come in, and he's taking some damage down about 60%, briefly dipping to about 40, but is going to get topped back off.
Gargoyle is out. It's being healed by the Paladin, but no, wow, big Lava Burst came in, dropped it almost immediately. Koska stuck in a snare right there. He is out now, hitting him pretty hard. Varium using his Icebound. Zanku now being hit at now 87%. Koska forced to use his Shield Wall as well as his Enraged Regen because he was taking so much damage from this PhD team. They need to get something over onto MD Max. He still has his trinket, still has his bubble available. Chains of Ice must be so annoying. It's just being reapplied to him, and that's like a 95% snare or something like that when it's first applied. Concussion blow onto MD Max. It turns immediately when Zanku saw that. I like that play. You don't want to get bursted and then have to figure yourself out. But here's a Bloodlust. They're going to be hitting him pretty hard. He's at 58% already. Uses his AMS ability, and the Gag Order Silence came in a little bit late. Wow, Koska charges back or intervenes to get that trap. Really nice job. Zanku's still taking damage. Avarium's still taking damage. Avarium has to use, or MD Max has to use his Aura Mastery to pick his team up, but he gets into him shouted. He has to trinket that. Avarium down to 53. Zanku gets deterred.
They just need to pillar, man. They need to pillar the Lust. They just need to spam chains on Mystic X and pillar him because he just does too much damage with Lust, and they're just trying to tank it, but this doesn't work. I mean, they're just all dead. I mean, there's the bubble from MD Max, but I don't know if it's even going to be enough. There's a big crit heal, does pop off Zanky, but instantly back down to 30%. I mean, now MD Max is out of his bubble. Varium's low, Zanky's low. Silencing Shot does come in, but Varium's just going to get killed by Koska, and the Lust is just too much damage. I think that their only chance is just they have to kite through the Lust, man. They just have to spam chains, drop traps, and just pillar.
Yeah. That's a rough situation for him, man. I do feel a little bit bad. Zanku really just trying to play this one out. MD Max says no, just leave, as he has left the arena. Look at this. He's gonna 1v3. Oh my goodness, he's got this. He's got this in the bag. Look at him kiting away. Oh, 42%. Can he live? 16. No. Disengage. Nope. Adios, amigo.
It's a valiant effort, nonetheless. Yeah. But
this 2-0 in favor of Rusty as hell. They only need one more game to secure them a spot in the finals, as it is single elimination. I think they can do it.
Maybe they're really going to be able to get something going here. We're going to have a Victorson charging in here. Going to be starting off onto Kostika. Nice Shockwave does land on Sveka, and he's down so low already. If they could have, he should fear. He did throw out that silencing shot onto Sveka. Sveka going to be able to get this heal off, but I mean, honestly, if Victorson threw out the fear onto Sveka, he would have at least forced a trinket.
Yeah, for sure, man. Zanku now being hit, he's going to disengage back. And nice root onto Victorson. He does manage to get freedom out of it. MD Max really keeping on top of it. He's stuck in a fear right now. He's choosing to sit it, not going to trinket. Koska did get disarmed. Maybe that's why they decided to sit it. But no, he ended up trinketing. He's in a haunch now. Maybe they're going to hit MD Max here. Shockwave into Gag Order Silence. 30% health. He might have to bubble. 35 now. No, it looks like he will be able to top himself up behind this pillar as long as he does manage to line this out just a little bit. Victorson was being hit though. Koska doing a lot of damage, using all of his revenges and his shield slams, stuff like that. That is how the Prot Warrior does damage. Zanku now at 82% health. Still trying to get some damage onto Casca. Casca stuck inside of that shockwave, 68% health on him. Looks like Zanku going to go for a trap on Svetka. It looks like it will land, and he does trinket immediately. So Svetka is without a trinket. Bubble still available. Victorson dipping down pretty low here. He's going to intervene back. MD Max was stuck right there inside of a CC. Victorson now 46% health. Looks like he should be okay for now, but Mystic X, when he pops a Bloodlust, that's when we're all going to be scared.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, good defensive play there by Victorson, getting out of there, you know, when his pally was interrupted. And Kostiga's taking a lot of damage here. He's going to have to pop his Reflect. He's intervening out. He's popping a Rage Regen as well. Mystic Hex was going for that Hex, unable to get it. It's going to be LOS here again. Oh, now that one does land on the Warrior. Both Paladins doing really well in mana. MDMX is ahead, but they're going to knock him off with a Thunderstorm. They're going to swap over onto him. He has to get the Sacred Shield up before the stun, but he's down to 20%. He has to bubble. Bubbles that Lava Burst as it's in the air, just barely getting that off, but they still have Lust, so he's going to be in a lot of trouble next time with no Trinket and no Bubble and Lust still available.
But Casca, look at Casca, down to 38% health, taking so much damage right here. Sacred Shield is on him, but Svetka has to bubble that Intimidating Shout. Casca uses his shield wall, 25%, and now there's a stun on the Mix X. That means he is unable to cast his healing waves to try and keep his warrior up, but no, he does manage to cast them now as he is out of that. The bubble is off for Svetka now. They need to swap over onto this Paladin once again, man. Maybe pop Bloodlust right now, and I think that they may just do that. MD Max getting closer to the Shaman. As soon as the Shaman gets close, he's going to use his Thunderstorm, going to knock the Paladin into the open. Casca uses Concussion Blow. There's a Fear onto MD Max. His Trinket is now available. He might have to Trinket at the end of that Fear, but no, a Hex, and Victorson might just die right here. The Trinket is used, 13%. He used his shield while 12% now. He used his Last Stand and his Rage Regen, so they've used all their defensive cooldowns. Bloodlust still hasn't been used. I see our Warrior Elemental Shaman team winning this. Zanku now at 37% health, trying to kite behind this pillar. Pillar kiting Mystic XX, unable to really connect to the target that he wants to.
I feel like this Hunter Warrior team should maybe try to go on Sveka. I mean, Sveka has no bubble, he has no trinket. They can maybe burst him just as well, but we'll find out. I mean, Zanku is going to have to trinket there, taking quite a bit of damage. Victorson going to be able to throw down that Conquil, and oh my god, dipping down to 10% HP. Is going to catch a heal, but will it be enough? The Bob comes out, Purge immediately, and Chain Lightning coming in here from Mystic X, just pumping out so much damage into that Warrior. They need to LOS, they need to get out of there.
And now MD Max has used his Aura Mastery too. He's at 76% health, reapplying his Blessing of Kings. His mana is hurting. He's going to use his Divine Plea, but Zanku's low. He's got to cancel that Divine Plea because Zanku's taking so much damage. There's a Shockwave on the MD Max too, and a Silence out of that. 47% health. Nice Shadow Meld right there, but the Lava Burst comes in, 21%. And this might be the end for our team, man. The wings are popping the Paladin, trying to get some bigger heals off. Wow. And he does, it looks like he will be able to top up his Hunter. Really nice job by MD Max to keep his team alive. But when will we actually see the offensive cooldowns come out? Svetka, he's at 12,000 mana. Casca dipping pretty low. He uses his Shockwave. He does manage to catch Zanku in it. A Hex coming out, but no, it looks like it was interrupted by that Intim Shout. A Trap going out onto Svetka. This is really bad for Casca.
He's stuck in that pole, man. Yeah. He just triggered the fear into that, and Koska might actually just go down here. This could be the first win, you know, the start of the comeback. He's in killshot range. He's at 10% HP. The Bob comes out 6%. Can they trank it off? He does get it tranked off, and he's still in so much trouble here. They have any interrupts coming out, nothing. And Mystic X going to be able to spam out a bunch of lesser healing waves there and help him off. But I mean, they almost got a kill there, man. And it seems like this comp may be the answer.
Wow, this is looking really good for him now, man. But the Bloodlust still does have 18 seconds remaining on it. Both Paladins using their Divine Plea. A Hex goes out onto Victorson, who doesn't have a trinket for another 30 seconds. Looks like the Paladin got knocked into the middle of the arena. This might be the end for him. He's trying to kite back. Divine Plea still up. He's inside of that Hodge hole. He's rooted. We're going to see Casca go to town on him, but no, MD Max completely fine. Just going to walk away, 100% health. Wow. That was their Bloodlust.
Shut down the burst from Mystic X, man, and Victorson is taking some damage here. He's going to intervene out of there, though. Doing a really good job on this Prot Warrior, honestly. You know, one issue, though, Sveka has double the mana right now of MDMX, so you know, we'll see if that's going to come into play or not. But they could get Casca in some trouble here. Casca was stuck in a stun briefly, but he's going to be able to get out. He's going to be able to get topped off, and now going to re-engage, going back in. Looking like he's going to try to connect on a Zanku here, this Hunter, but not able to do so, and he's going to get caught in that entrapment, catching a Freedom from his pal, just trying to stay offensive. Going to dip down to about half HP. They need to get some more scatter traps on his Sveka, see if they can get something going.
Oh, and Tim Shout overlapped with Hex right there. That's unfortunate because it looks like Victorson may have to use a defensive cooldown. But no, he's at 80% health. Looks like he's completely fine. MD Max coming out of that now. No bubble for him for another 60 seconds. He's also just used his Divine Plea, as he is hurting so badly on Mana. Svetka using his plea at the same time too. Both Paladins just using it on cooldown. Koska at 63% health. Nice shockwave onto both the DPS though. Maybe this can have them get something going. Zenku now at 60% health, uses his Master Call. Looks like MD Max is going to keep him up just fine. MD Max has been at 9,000 mana for the past while, man. I think he may just sustain there. Looks like he should be alright. Strelifek going up for Victorson. There's a Hodge going out. It is on to Svetka. Svetka at 99% health gets put to an interim shot out of that. He's going to have to trinket that because Koska is down to 69%. Going to have to use his shield block, use his stun onto both the DPS once again. Zenku getting a little bit low. MD Max gets put into a charge, into a concussion blow. But they was a slight overlap right there, but they're going to hit him instead at 50% health. Looks like he's going to use his bop on himself, but he is completely fine. 100% health now. Divine Shield back up in 5 seconds.
Is saving his scatter for when they get those stuns on MD Max, and that's, I mean, he's getting the scatter and the silence on Mystic X and just shutting down those swaps so hard. So really nice job by him. And Koska taking some big damage here. He's down about half HP. If they can get ACC out, it could be pretty big. Sveka does have his bubble available in 2 seconds. He has no PvP trinket, but you know, they just need to get some CC out here, and MD Max needs to try to get some mana back. He's pleading right now. He's going to be able to try to sit that full. It does get purged off, though, it looks like. And that is really unfortunate.
Yeah, full Hex onto that Hunter. He is coming out of it now. And let's see, Victorson down to 60% health. The Shockwave on him. MD Max still trying to pick him back up. Big knockback right there. Did put the Hunter in the middle, but unfortunately was not able to knock the Paladin where they wanted. I think they really want to swap to him. Koska still trying to Pillar Kite this Hunter, but no, he's going to swap onto him. Concussion blow on him at 50% HP. MD Max still trying to pick him back up. And we have 3 minutes remaining on this match. If it does go into lowest HP, Koska's at his lowest was 6%, whereas Victorson was at 11. That is the lowest they managed to get him. There's a Shockwave going out. It does land onto Koska. Koska does have his Tonka. That's going to give him a lot of damage if he's able to connect to the target he wants to. A big stun onto both the DPS once again. And wow, look at that. Shield Wall is actually forced right there. Tonka, baby! Koska 60% health, uses a concussion blow. Doesn't look like it actually managed to do too much. Zenku now 50%, a full Hex onto MD Max. He has to trinket it immediately. Zenku 50%. Mystic X is mana not doing too hot either. MD Max put into a Hodge. Zenku, he may actually fall here. 35%. Good peels onto Koska though. He goes into a Shockwave. He's out of it now. Looks like they might actually try and kill the Crab Pet though.
Yeah, it's looking like that's what they're going for, and only 2.5 minutes or so remaining. So, like you said, I mean, lowest dip has been on Koska, so you know, Victorson, MDMX, and Zanky, if they can just stay alive here and stay above 6% HP, they could actually take a round and maybe start something happening. MDMX though still low on mana. All his team is about 60-70% HP, and they're now going to split. Zanky gets knocked back into the corner and looking for the Lava versus Mixed X, but he's going to be able to LOS him and then get his team topped off once again here. Victorson though now is going to be the target under some pressure out in the middle at about 60% HP. At the same time, he does throw out the Fear on a Mystic X. There was no Tremor down, so he's going to be sitting that full, and they're trying to get something going onto Kostica, but there's a charge Conchlo onto Svetka, and intercept over back, trying to get some damage out on Mystic X now.
Yeah, Kostica does have the freedom. Looks like he's going to be able to connect right here. They need to get some burst going. MDMX does have his bubble. Zenku down. Oh no, he looks to be fine now at 80% health. Gag order on MDMX as that Hodge ends. They need to try and get a Hex on him or something like that. Another Shockwave goes out. It manages to land on both the casters of the team of Koska, Mystic, XX, and Svetka. But not too much pressure going out onto this team now, man. Maybe they can get something going right here, as there's only a minute and 12 seconds now. Interim Shout goes out on MD Max, the Hex onto Victorson. So Zenku's all alone. It's a 3v1 situation. Zenku looks to be fine.
Oh,
MD Max is pretty low.
Though. Yeah, and he does have the bubble once again. They do still have Elemental Mastery remaining, though, so I mean, there's only 50 seconds remaining on the game, but man, one more good swap. They have that EM up. They could maybe just burst someone down, and they're still going to have to be really careful about it. Zanku, he is going to be the target for now. He's going to get healed back up, though, by MDMX, and I think that, you know, Mystic Costa and Sveka, if they want to finish this off, they're going to have to go back onto this Paladin, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get that off. And Victorson now quite low. He is LOSing back behind that pillar, though, at 30%, and it looks like here comes the swap to MDMX. Are they going to be able to finish him off? Victorson now at 18%. There's a trinket coming out of MDMX. He can throw out the bot there as well, and really under a lot of pressure now going to get shocked by Mystic X.
I think he might have actually juked that because he just cast a flash or a holy shock almost immediately. But Victorson down to 18%, 24%, a knockback on the MD Max. He needs to pick up his warrior right here. Wow, that was actually really close because if he dipped much lower, then they would win this game based on lowest damage. But no, there's a shockwave. They need to get a kill. They have 2-1. No, the game is timed out. MD Max was about to die at 12% health.
Oh my god, 12% in the comp. Time's out. He was dead, man.
Shadow Priest, Mage, Shaman right here out of the gate. We are going to be watching this Mage, Fnobbers. We also had one of those interviews with him, and he's a really nice guy, so I want to wish him the best of luck here. Already casting that rank 1 Frostbolt over, just trying to get the debuff up, slow him down just a little bit. Dots are already up on the Warlock. That's not good for our Paladin and Warlock Warrior team. The Warrior is going to charge in there. Spell Reflect already up, trying to hit the Mage. It looks like Blade Storm already, but the Mage...
I think he actually Blade Stormed a Deep Freeze there, so that was really nice by Serenity X, and he's getting right in on top of them. But, you know, as we saw him earlier in the tournament, he wore so much PV gear, and he takes so much damage from these Wizard Cleave teams. He's fully dotted up right now, sitting about half HP. Lon's X having some trouble topping him off, and he's just going to be sitting on the back of Hulk Pass, really actually pumping out a lot of damage into him right now. Croc is stuck in a sheep, though. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch a Dispel, and he's going to have to sit that full.
Yeah, Hulk Pass still down to 39% health, taking quite a bit of damage. A counterspell goes out onto Croc on his Fear right there, so Marmax should be able to top his Shadow Priest at this point. A Deep goes out onto our Warrior. He did manage to get dispelled out of it or cleansed by Lon's X, the Paladin. Now Croc still trying to get some dots going. He does manage to have a UA on the Priest, but that is just it. He's sitting inside that Polymorph, and Serenity X is getting pretty low. The Bloodlust is out, swapping onto the Warrior at 32%, trying to line of sight, but is he in line of sight of his Paladin, who's sitting inside of a full Hex? He bubbles too late, and that's... we tend to see that quite a bit, is the Paladin's just bubbling too late, holding it for too long, and then they just let their teammates die. So here we go, second game is starting, hanging out behind the pillar right now, just sort of eyeballing the competition. Busting the Kings up on everybody. Warlock sitting in that Fel armor as opposed to Demon armor because he's not too scared of being hit. He does have dots on him right now, but it's just so the Paladin has to dispel him, really. Although I don't agree with that because that gives him Sacred Cleansing. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, getting Sacred Cleansing up is really nice, and you know, as the Warlock, you always kind of want to be in there harassing and seeing what you can do. It's pretty much always going to be a better situation for you. I mean, you can get up Eradication, your Paladin can get Sacred Cleansing, so on and so forth. So I definitely think, you know, the Warlock should be up there harassing. Maybe even put his portal, you know, on the not their pillar, but the pillar beside them, and have their Paladin move up into the middle a little bit, because, you know, you just have to get that pressure going at the start, and just try to not really allow them to get anything going early on.
Yeah, already Frostbite onto the Warrior. Wow, Frostbite. That's a pretty tricky spell. A Hex goes out on the Warrior. Deep Freeze on the Warlock. Devouring Plague as well. They're really just trying to put as much damage into him as they can. Mortal Strike onto the Shadow Priest, and now our Warlock is going to try and get some dots on him. He does have his instant cast. Looks like he got blanketed over on his UA. No, it was a full lockout as he's channeling those Searing Pains. Now Blaze Storm from the Warrior as well. He gets disarmed on that, though. Shadow Priest is at 67% health. Fenobra just channeling those polymorphs into Lon's X. He is going to have to trinket that one into a silence immediately, and Serenity X is already down to 74% health. Wow, catching some big heals, though. Really nice job to top him back off there.
Yeah, Croc trying to get the dots up there. He is going to be able to fake that shock. And Hulk Pass taking quite a bit of damage. I mean, Hulk Pass trying to push in here on Lons, get a fear off. The Freedom does go down on Serenity. It's going to be purged off almost immediately, though. You know, and Hulk Pass is getting kind of low on mana. He's taking quite a bit of pressure here. Right now, Lons, Croc, and Serenity are all basically full HP, and they're sitting in a really good position. They are going to try to turn around some of the pressure onto Serenity here, though, who did catch the Sacred Shield and a big heal there. So he is going to be topped back off, and Hulk Pass now down to 40% HP with very little mana.
Check out the trinkets, though. Everybody on Team of No Hacks has used their trinket. Fenobers does have his remaining. Marmax does have his remaining. Serenity X going to have to use his Spell Reflect right there. He does want to reflect the shadow that was coming in. He's charging in, though, onto Hulk Pass. Hulk Pass trying to pull him away from his Paladin. You can see the Paladin just hanging out behind that pillar back there. Fenobra is now going to be the focus. He's taking some damage, trying to kite away. Spell Steals Freedom, really nice job there. Blinking in to the other team. Wow, I'm sorry, he's blinking back to his teammates. My apologies there. Serenity X down to 74% health. Not too much pressure going out, though. I think this game is really going to happen when the Bloodlust comes out, and that might be very soon because this warrior is extended pretty far right here.
And they might honestly even go on the Warlock. There's a Blink CS in on the Warlock, but yeah, Serenity X is getting pretty low there. CS did come out on Phenombers, did not manage to lock him out though, unfortunately, and Croc now going to be sitting in that full Hex. They don't have a decurse, nothing they can do about that, and Serenity now down to 40% HP. There is the Bloodlust coming out. Is he just going to shield wall early? Not popping it just yet. He did use that Hellstone and the Spell Reflect. He's in defensive stance, just trying to shut down Shadow Priest damage as best as he possibly can. But a lot of pressure is still coming out on him, and Lance is going to bubble, and he's really got to get him topped off before that bubble ends. I think he will be able to do that as the Holy Light does land. His bubble does get emptied, but Serenity X is back at full HP. There's still quite some time left on that Bloodlust, though.
Yeah, 75% health. Phenombers does get locked out on that Frostbolt though, so this is looking good for them right now. They just need to survive through this Bloodlust and maybe they'll have a shot, but the Paladin has already used his bubble and he's inside of a Polymorph. His Trinket is available. Shield Wall up from the Warrior. Hook Pass also taking damage. He has some dots on him from the Warlock. Bladestorm going out from the Warrior right here. He did manage to get this
down, man. Like, Lons is in a fear, so I mean, they might still be able to finish him off as the silence does come out on Lons there as well, but it looking like Serenity X is going to survive, and they have kind of lasted through that Bloodlust, but another Water Elemental is going to be summoned. Looks like Phenombers does get locked out there, but he's going for those rank 1 debuff Frostbolts onto the Sheeps. He does get devoured once again, though. Croc doing a really good job devouring off those Sheeps from Lons. He's going to go back into a half Sheep, though, and Serenity X still sitting at 40% HP. They really need to get away, get their Warrior topped off, and really get something going around here.
Yeah, he's, oh my goodness, at 20% health. He's in defensive stance. No, he's just swapping around in Rage Regen now. Hulk Pass at 57%. They actually have decent pressure going both ways. Dispersion is forced as well. Lons X, Croc, and Serenity are doing a much better job this game. Deep Freeze on the Warrior, though, I may have spoken too soon. I think he may just flop here. 17% Spell Reflect up, a full Hex on the Warlock, unable to peel. The Paladin tries to pick up the Warrior, but no, Serenity X will end up falling. Nice Hex onto the Warlock. I like that. That means he was unable to spam those fears. I think they'll be playing Elemental, and yes, sure they are. Kostka, always very impressive on that Prot Warrior. I love the way they set up kills with each other. I think they do it phenomenally well. Let's see if they're going to be able to take a game off Phenombers, Pass, and Marm.
I mean, they definitely do, man, but Mystic X, like, when every time they play them, he just kind of gets trained start to finish. There's the spells on him, and we'll see if there's anything different's going to happen. I mean, they're starting on Kostka this game, actually, and Mystic X is able to free cast right now on Phenombers, and Phenombers going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. They're actually, Silence came out defensively there, you know, with the Fear on Mystic X, Silence goes down on Svetka, and Kostka is going to be put into the Deep Freeze. It did look like it was maybe DR'd or something, though it was kind of a bit short there, and Kostka looking like he is going to be fine for now. Sveka able to top him off, no problem. Hulk Massey taking some damage, but without that MS, anytime Marm lands a heal, he's basically going to get topped.
Yeah, Kostka just trying to Pillar Kite right here, hanging out with his Paladin. A nice Shockwave goes out. Trinket from Hulk Pass, actually. Mormex doing fine on mana. Svetka also doing fine. It is just the start. Kostka already down to 62%, so taking big fire. Our Elemental Shaman is going to have to try and go pretty hard right here. Looks like he might try and kill the Water Elemental Pet or something like that because that can't stop a lot of pressure. Mystic X already down to 30%. He has to use his Gift of the Naru, trying to Ghost Wolf behind a pillar. There's a defensive Bloodlust, but is it going to be enough, man? He does get picked back up to 84%, but our Warrior is still in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, the lust has already gone off all three of them, man. That's the problem. Phenombers Spell Soul and the other two are dispelled right away, so that defensive lust coming out means they're not going to have that offensively at all, and that's a pretty rough position to be in. Looking like they do want to go on Marm a little bit there, but Kostka once again caught into the Deep Freeze, does get dispelled, though. He throws up the AoE Reflect on that Frostbolt, and we're going to see Hulk Pass now hodged by Sveka, just trying to deny that fear on him. Sveka doing a good job staying out of CC so far, but you know, how much longer can he really keep that up?
Yeah, Hook Pass now topped, thankfully. Mystic X hanging out by the pillar. Once again, it's very scary to leave the pillar against a Wizard Cleave like this because they're just so on the ball with swapping to whatever's in a good spot. Kostka now inside of a Frostbite proc, I'm sorry, at 55%, and here's the Bloodlust coming out for Phenombers and Hulk Pass. They're going to be doing a lot of damage. Kostka may end up going down here. There is his last stand. He throws out the Shockwave onto the other team, just trying to stay alive. He's going to have to get to a pillar here soon. There was the bubble from Svetka too. It did get Mass Dispelled off. He has popped his Aura Mastery. And I don't know, I think this is just going to be a losing game from here on out for this team, man. They're so far behind. Mystic X is at 50% health himself. Svedka, half mana. Fnobers is getting relatively low, actually. I may have spoken too soon, but no. Hulk Pass throws some flash heals. He's going to disperse for mana right here.
And that was such a good decurse by Fnobers. Fnobers decursed Marmon like before the global even ended, so really nice job by him getting that off really quickly. And Bloodlust has ended, but Svedka really was having trouble topping off Koska during that lust, and Fnobers is taking some damage now, so they still have to be careful. I mean, you get a good shield slam crit or two, plus a Lavaverse EM coming out. You never know, you could take down that mage, so they're still going to have to be careful here, but Svedka now silenced. Mystic X is feared off, and it's kind of a 3v1 right now on Koska. Koska is sitting at about 67%. He's trying to do some damage onto this Resto Shaman, has him at about half HP. Our shield goes up, throws up the Riptide as well. You can see his HP is going back up pretty quickly with no MS available.
Yeah, that was rough. He had to use his wall there, and the Paladin used his trinket as well. So many defensive cooldowns have been popped. They're trying to burst Fnobers really hard right here. Wow, had to block it. 13%. He does look like he should be okay for now. He's popped his trinket as well, but wow.
The Lavaverse was in the air about an inch from him when he blocked. So, I mean, half a second later, and he's dead. That's what I'm talking about, man. That burst is pretty insane at times. And, they're just going to keep going on Fnobers. Svedka, getting some mana back, but he doesn't have Trinket, he doesn't have Bubble. Next CC chain could be the end here for him. He's going to have to be really careful. He's trying to do his best to stay away, but they're looking like they actually might just swap over onto him. Deep Freeze does go out on Koska, but almost just defensively, and another pet's going to be summoned here by Fnobers. He's spamming out those rank 1 Frostbolts, drops a Frostfire Bolt, trying to get as much going as he can. Svedka at the same time really just trying to desperately stay away from this Shadow Priest.
Yeah, if he gets put into a fear at the wrong time, it's definitely lights out. Mystic X can tremor him out, but if there's something on him as well, and there it is, a full fear on Mystic X as well as Svedka, but unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get too much out of it. A nice sack onto Koska, so they're going to have to remove that if they want to put Svedka into a full polymorph. Doesn't look like they're going for that right now, though. Nope.
And Koska actually got the AoE Reflect on the polymorph out of that AoE fear, and that's pretty much the only thing that kept him alive. But at the same time, he's still down at 20% HP. Svedka comes out of the silence. He's going to have to top him off, but he goes into the defreeze, still has nothing left, full sheep now, and Koska pops in Rage Regen. He's going to have to kite. It's his only real chance. He's catching heals, though, from Mystic X, but Mystic X is feared off, and it's once again a 3v1 situation. Tries to charge out and stop that poly, but it's going to be a little bit too late, and Mystic X, unable to do anything about that either.
Oh man, Breaking Bad. They're just breaking everyone so bad right here. Game, they're just unstoppable. That's what I'm seeing right here. Despite these guys playing as well, they're just not on the same level when it comes to the synergy and the comp, but nonetheless, they are starting out on this warrior. He is going to charge over onto the Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest going for the fear onto Svedka, but it looks like Svedka's going to be able to line of sight that. Mystic X was put into a hex. They're going to start off on Svedka, actually, already down to 73% now as he got a really big holy shock, but a big fear bomb. It's going to catch the Shaman and the Paladin. A silence on the Paladin out of that. He does manage to get picked back up a little bit, but now he's just swapping in between 50% and 75%. He's unable to pick himself up, but he's unable to go down. They haven't forced Trinket and they haven't forced Bubble yet, so it's good for our warrior team.
Yeah, really good, honestly. The fact that Svedka was able to hold both those just bodes so well for them. It's a really great start, basically the best they could hope for, because that's definitely what they were going for. They were trying to get that, the Trinket, the Bubble out early, and then either finish them off or swap. But Koska might actually just die here. They have to be careful. Svedka's sitting that. Shoal comes out. Will it be enough, though? He's at 15% HP. He's going to have to pop something else, man. Last Stand now popping up there. Bubble, was Bubble used? Bubble and Trinket were both just used.
And or Mastery.
And or Mastery, yeah. And Mystic X is in a deep freeze, taking a lot of damage, so went from an amazing start, and everything just kind of fell apart there.
I don't think they have a single defensive left. Fnobers is at 44%, but look at that. Shield wall, Last Stand, trinkets from everybody but Mystic X. It's not looking good. Mystic X at 55% health, still trying to kite away, drops the grounding totem, doesn't catch anything too important, though. Still at 64. Svedka looks like he got shocked on that. No, I believe he actually managed to juke it as Mystic X appears to be fine. He gets put into that polymorph and a fear at the same time. Polymorph onto Svedka. Now here's the Bloodlust, though, from Fnobers, Hulk Pass, and Marm going hard onto Koska at 38% health. With the poly still on Svedka, will Koska just die here? It looks like he will.
Yeah, it's just that triple CC, man. Mystic X, got feared and sheeped, and then while he was still feared, they swapped the sheep.
Alright, so the gates are open now. Mystic X hanging out behind the pillar, dropping his totems. Koska already charging in their concussion blow. Looks like Mystic X is going to be going for Hex onto Marm. They're trying really hard right here. They're going extremely offensive. Already have him down to 44% health. Earth Shield and Riptide on him. A big fear goes out and a silence on this Fed guy. He's unable to dispel that from Mystic X, and there was no tremor. There's going to be a full poly on him out of that. Koska at 80% health, fully dotted into a Frostbite. 37%. Wow, big knockback, but he's at 30% health. He may have to use his wall, and he does. Is that going to be enough, though? Svetka still has his string, still has his bubble. He may have to use that pretty soon. Anything lands on him, Koska's still in a lot of trouble, man. Everything's just landing right now. Hook pass, he's being hit, though. 83% health. It's Svedka trying to keep his team completely topped, and they are all fine at this point.
Yep, they are, and they all have their trinkets. They're doing pretty well. The shield wall did come out. Last thing came out, so they did use those, but Svedka still has pretty much everything. Gifted Arrow is gone from Mystic X, but they're looking okay. But as we see, they really just have to worry about the Lust, and Lust is going to come out right now. And Koska looking like he may just want to get out there. The defensive Lust comes up as well, but it's going to be purged off of Koska and Mystic X immediately. They don't even get a spell off with it. Svedka going to have it still up, allowing him to top his team off a little bit easier here. And it's looking like they're doing pretty well living through this. They're going to try to turn the pressure around on a Marm. Marm taking some damage, but catches the shield, going to get out of there. And Koska caught into the deep freeze in the middle of the map. A shot comes out on Svedka, and Koska might just go down here. Sacrifice comes out. He's at 18%, but is this going to be enough for him to survive? He's at 9% HP. Sheep comes out on Svedka. Svedka not going to bubble, and Koska is going to fall, and Breaking Bads will take the final game in the grand finals 3-0, and they are going to finish first place. Rusty as hell going to finish in second. Disappointing end to their run, but well played by both sides. So guys, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm EG Azael.
I'm Conradical. Our cameraman was Reckful.
And you guys can check out more tournaments at arena-tournament.com. Thanks for tuning in.